The South Carolina State Fair is returning stronger and safer than ever. And I have the general manager of the South Carolina State Fair with us today, Nancy Smith. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. But you know what? I've been hearing some mixed reactions. You know, people are excited about the fair coming, and then there's the thought, oh, but wait, we still have that Delta variant still lingering on. So how are we going to navigate things?
Well, first, let me say that I'm just honored to be here. We certainly missed seeing our patrons in person last year, but we were fortunate to have our first ever drive-through fair in 2020. But we are back, and you are right. But I think what we want everyone to know is, as always, our patron safety has always been our number one priority, and that has not changed. Will soon be 152 years old, and we're committed to making and keeping your South Carolina State Fair the same fair that you have known in the past. And just to let folks know that we're planning for the fair, planning for something the size of your South Carolina State Fair has to start very early. So we've been doing that. And as planning continues, we will be closely following the CDC recommendations and strategies to prevent the transmission of COVID-19 and to maintain healthy business operations. And we will be following the latest CDC state and local mask guidelines. And you can check us out online to see some of the safety features that we have in place for this year's fair as it relates to COVID. But it would be things like we will be having increased hand sanitation stations and limited contact payment options. And we'll also be providing increased cleaning protocols and, lots of signage throughout the grounds just to let folks know that that's what we're doing this year. But we do, as always, we strongly encourage all of our fair growers to really evaluate their own potential risk for exposure to COVID-19 before choosing to attend. Do the right thing, and knowing that the vaccines remain the best protection from the virus. And we just want folks to know that we do realize that if anything, we can say that this COVID world in which we live is an ever-changing one, and we are certainly aware of that, and we will, adapt appropriately.
And one of the things that I like, this new technology with the touchless payment system, you're going to be doing that as well, aren't you?
We are going to be doing some of that. We're trying to encourage our folks to do that and, to buy early, which would help, when you get to the gate, it will make it a more enjoyable experience for you. And also you can purchase your tickets online and on the phone. And so you can just scan them when you get here. So we are moving, more in that direction.
And Nancy, it's always a priority for everyone's health, but you also have other safety measures that you have to take into consideration. You want to talk about those as well?
Very important point. And yes, safety is a top priority for your South Carolina State Fair. And just as we, talked a little bit about COVID safety, we are committed to providing a safe experience for our patrons. And this year we've done some extra things to help you feel better when you come to your South Carolina State Fair. This year, some of these have been in place, but the fair, your South Carolina State Fair, will have a large contingent of law enforcement on the grounds from open to close every day. We have some updated metal detector technology and just additions to the general ground security as well. We've updated our youth admission policy where that hour is, we've moved that up a little, an hour from 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. So we'd encourage you to check that out. But the one thing that's new this year that we wanted to make sure everyone is aware of is that we do have a new mandatory clear bag policy. And, this policy is one that, others have used. I think ours is going to mesh a lot of what the University of South Carolina is using, a clear bag policy for when they come into the football games as well. But just make sure that you go on our website at scstatefair.org, and we have a picture of all the clear bags that are allowed. I know one of the questions that we've been getting a lot of is regarding diaper bags and things like that. But we just want you to know that exceptions are typically granted for medically necessary items or diaper bags. But every bag will be inspected. And people are saying, well, why do we have to do this? But as we've been talking a lot lately, we just want to make sure that we continue to do everything we can to let you know that we're working on making your South Carolina State Fair a safe fair. Clear bags, they're easily and quickly searched. And, it just makes things easier at the gates. But most importantly, continuing in our goal to make it a safe place. And we just feel like this measure will enhance safety both inside and outside the fairgrounds. But we'll have signage all around. We will have some clear bags at the gate if a patron arrives and does not have one. But on our website, it's pictures and lots of, everything that you need to know about our clear bag policy at the fair. But just, want you to know that it's all done to try to make your experience a good and enjoyable one. And, we would encourage you to check out all of those things at the website, but to know that there's lots of fun at your South Carolina State Fair this year as well.
Do you know of any other states that are also going to be moving forward with their fairs?
Yes, we are. That's a great question. Your fair is a member of the International Association of Fairs and Expositions. And right now, I believe some of the large fairs are moving forward. It would be Indiana State Fair, the Wisconsin State Fair, and one of the larger fairs is the Iowa State Fair. And Minnesota State Fair plans to move forward, as well as the Washington State Fair. There are lots of fairs, the Big E in Massachusetts, and then North Carolina State Fair runs about the same time as your South Carolina State Fair, and the Georgia National Fair in Perry. So that's the great thing, I think, about being a part of the fair industry. I think that's one of the things that I love most about our industry is that we are not in competition with each other, but we only serve to learn from one another. And I think that's something that is good for everyone to know, that we're not out here. Your South Carolina State Fair is not on an island by themselves, that we are really gathering lots of information and have some good things to rely on from what other fairs have done.
All right, cool. So now let's get down to the fun part about all of the things that we can expect this year. You have some new ideas as well. So tell us what people can expect.
We do, and I wanted to start off by saying the theme of the fair this year is It's Your Moment. And I think 2021 is just a great year. I think everybody's ready for their fair and they're ready for it to be their moment. And I always think that the fair is really a tradition. So I wanted to share your moment might be anything from the topsy-turvy, which is a ride, to the dunk, which is like the corn dog, mustard, ketchup, however you like it, the moo, if agriculture is your thing, the prize, which is winning something, the honor, which would be from our competitive exhibits. And I wanted to share that, people said, well, what's your favorite? And mine is the honor, because I don't know, you know me, Koko, but other folks may not. I've been in this business for a long time. And I remember way back when my first job at the fair was in the home and craft department. And I just love thinking of the honor, because I remember to this day, 3 generations of folks that came in the Moore building at that time, and they were proudly displaying their blue ribbon, their honor, because they had all won for their pickled peaches in the Moore building. And I can still remember their smiles. And I just, the moment, it's your moment is so special to me, because that's what your fair is all about. We're all about creating special moments and making memories. And we're committed to doing that this year as well. So we've got lots of fun things. Which ones do you want to hear about first?
Okay, so let's talk about the rides, because everybody loves the Ferris wheel and what's new for the kids and that sort of thing.
Right. Well, that would be the topsy-turvy moment. So if topsy-turvy is your moment, I would just say you can hang on for the fun, because we're going to be bringing back a giant slide. We've had a slide, but we're bringing back the giant slide this year. And then, as I said, the fair is really all about family and fun. And I can see all of those young, smiley faces out there. So we have, we'll be featuring more than 70 rides again throughout our midway. And we have some fun new rides for In our Kittyland Midway, we've got Dumbo, that's an elephant ride, and then the teacup ride will be here this year, along with all of your favorites. My favorite ride, I think, is the Sky Glider. I think I've shared that because I like to just at nighttime, I like to ride that Sky Glider and see all the lights, and the aroma from all that yummy food is coming up, and then I can hear the laughter of all the folks that are having fun on the fairground. So you can come here and find about anything you want from the ride lineup.
Okay, and then next, entertainment. Who do you have lined up this year?
Well, several in 2019, we did not have our large grandstand stage, but we were so pleased to bring our Pepsi Place stage, our smaller stage. And, we have some great folks lined up this year. We have the Swinging Medallions will be here, but we're changing some things up at the fairgrounds this year. So on our Pepsi Place stage, you're going to find like Ron Diamond. He's our hypnotist. He's been very popular here at the fair. And then, of course, there's always folks like Dennis Lee has been with us. He is the mime. And then he has a band, along with lots of other entertainers. But this year we're having roving entertainers. We're having the roving giants. Those are the big stilt walkers. And I think something that's really neat that I've seen at other fairs is a strolling piano. So you can just imagine that. Think about that, but we'll have our strolling piano this year. And then, of course, we'll have, lots of our, all the fun stuff that people are looking for. Don't worry, the Swifty Swine racing pigs will be here. Everybody loves their racing pigs. And then our 75-ton sand sculpture will be back with a surprise. You'll have to come and see what that theme for the sand sculpture will be. And what we debuted in 2019, that was a big, it was a big success for us. Don't miss the wonder of it all, because the circus at the fair is coming back. It will be back under the big top this year, and it will be a larger big top and a better big top. And that's the free circus at the fair. So we're looking forward to you being able to join us at the circus at the fair this year.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And do you still have the exhibits? I know, that's a must, having the exhibits.
That is a must, and that we have your South Carolina State Fair has every county in the state represented in our competitive exhibits, whether that be flowers or art or agriculture, and of course all of the livestock, if you like cows and pigs and chickens and more. Yes, our competitive exhibits are up, and you'll be able to come and see all the talents of everything that the folks from South Carolina have to offer.
And it's all for a great cause, too. It's helping the economy and also helping our students in this state. So talk a little bit about what the South Carolina State Fair does for the education of our students.
Yes, your South Carolina State Fair, we are, have quite a bit of economic impact throughout the state. But I think that's even more important this year for everyone to know as they come to the fair, that your fair is very dedicated to educating South Carolina's young adults. And even in a very different and difficult year last year when we did have our drive-through fair, but we didn't have our regular fair, your fair still awarded $300,000 in scholarships to graduating seniors that will be attending an in-state school or university. So we've already gotten in touch with those young folks, and I know those folks will be having lots of special moments to remember from their South Carolina State Fair Ride of Your Life scholarship as well. And just it's important to know also that the scholarships are awarded throughout the state of South Carolina. Scholarships come from each congressional district. But because it's not the Columbia Fair, even though we're located in Columbia, it's your South Carolina State Fair, and it represents everything that South Carolina is about. So that's really an important part. This year, in this difficult ongoing COVID-19 scenario, the fairgrounds served as a site for testing for COVID, and also for vaccinations for COVID. And we'll be here to help do that as much as we can as we move forward to try to, get our state back and healthy and moving in the right direction. And we also have hosted some other things at the fair, like the job fairs, and always working with the Salvation Army during Christmas time to help those, who are not as fortunate. So we're here. And, as we said when we first started, we are, we're ready to be back, taking everything into consideration, and making and keeping your South Carolina State Fair the great tradition that it is.
The South Carolina State Fair going on from October 13th through the 24th. Nancy, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today.
So thank you so much. And we are looking forward to seeing you folks. And we hope that you will be able to come to the South Carolina State Fair and find your moment October the 13th through the 24th.